Hey guys, welcome to today's video, and in today's video I'm gonna tell you guys the best console and PC settings for Fortnite Chapter 2 Season 2. We're gonna talk about sensitivity, keybinds, and much more. So we are gonna get into it right now, and we're gonna talk about from A to Z, talking about all the settings and the important things that has been introduced in Season 2 of Fortnite. So let's get right into it. If you guys are enjoying our videos, do drop a like, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel for daily videos here on our channel. And also remember guys, we are only one subscriber away from hitting 350,000 subscribers on our channel, to help us get to that milestone. Now with the intro getting done, let's get right into it. First thing first, once you guys are in your main menu, you guys need to go to your settings for your Fortnite. This next thing that you guys got to do, this is just like a generic setting tab that I have, so this will be the proper settings that you guys got to use while you guys are in the game. First thing first, you got to make sure that your game is always on full screen. Okay, if you guys are using full screen, you guys will get like very low latency. Second of all, you'll get better FPS and smoother gameplay. So always check the full screen over here when it comes down to the window mode. Next thing that we're going to talk about is the resolution. Now there are two resolutions that you guys can choose from. Some pro players like 1600 by 900. I prefer playing on 920 by 1080, so I'm going to keep that on my resolution, which is going to be the 16:9 ratio. Even if you want, you can even like scale up and down, even play the stretch resolution for Fortnite Chapter 2 Season 2. If you guys don't know how to play the stretch resolution to play your favorite stretches, well, check out the link in the description. We have already made a video on it. Talking about the frame rate, this is something that is highly debatable. Now let's say you have a 144 Hz monitor, then you guys always have to keep your rate limit a setting above 144. So if you have a 144 Hz monitor, always keep it on 160 so that you guys won't get any hitches and you would have a smoother gameplay. I've seen players complain having a 144 Hz monitor and still lagging because they always keep their FPS on 144 lock. So always keep it always a mark higher than that of your current hertz of your monitor. If you have a 240, well, then put it on unlimited to even get like better FPS. At that point, like, it doesn't even matter even if you keep it on 240, because at that point it's like very smooth. Talking about the next settings, we have the graphic settings. So talking about the graphic settings, we have the first option as brightness. Talking about the brightness settings, this is totally again up to the user what the preference is. I prefer to keep it at 100, but for some pros I've seen it, they're bumping it up to 120 depending on their monitors colors. So it's not the same thing for all the people and all the users, so it kind of depends on what the user wants. Then we have the user interface contrast. So this is always set to 1x. You can always bring it up and down, like to increase the contrast of the game. So if you boost it up, you increase the contrast. You keep it down, this goes all the way low. So again, this is a user interface thing. So if you guys want, you guys can bump it up. If you guys don't want it, you guys can always put it down depending on your monitor's settings. Then we have the color blind mode. Like, this was a very important thing back a few seasons back, because colorblind mode was very important to see through the storm. But right now in Season 2 Fortnite Chapter 2, well, the storms are all transparent, so we don't have to actually use like all these colorblind modes. So you can always keep it on off because it's not a thing. But if you guys are used to the same color settings, you guys can either use any of these, and it again comes down to the user's preference. Then we have the Colorblind Strength. Now this is again up to the user's preference. The most important thing that we have right over here is the graphics quality. Okay, now it will all automatically be set like this. Once you first start Fortnite, it will be like on auto set. It is always auto set to give the game better graphics, which means like to give better quality rather than performance. That is something that we do not want. We want performance, we want FPS. But me as a content creator, well, I have to keep it on epic. But if I was a pro player, what do I need to do? I'll put it all the way, this one, quality presets, go to this tab, put it all the way to low. Okay, then what do you got to do? You can put your view distance to epic or even like far, depending on you guys, and put your 3D resolution all the way to 100. Now you can keep this one on near as well. Make sure that everything is on low to get the maximum performance for your game. Talking about the advanced graphics, this is very important again for you guys. Well, the advanced graphics are very important. Always make sure the VSync is always turned on. If you keep it on, well, your gameplay will be smooth, but you will be losing out on so much of synchronization issues, input delays, and you will eventually die and you won't be able to connect your shots in the game. So always keep this off. Motion blur, again, keep it off. If you guys don't want to lose frames, if you guys want to get the best FPS possible, the smoothest game as possible to connect all your shots, always keep the motion blur off. Show FPS, always turn it on so that you can always see the FPS that you guys are getting at that particular moment. Now, we are going to talk about DirectX version, which is always an interesting topic to talk about. The DirectX 11 or the DirectX 12, it really depends on you guys. Like, so I have seen like drastic changes for people using DirectX 11 and DirectX 12 for the newer graphics card. I have seen a boost of people saying that they have received an extra 30 FPS by using the DirectX 12. So you guys can go ahead and check it out for yourself. Start the game, start at one point, and then see how much FPS you guys are getting. Then switch it over to DirectX 12, and then see how much FPS you guys are getting. Is it higher? Is it lower? Let me know in the comment section down below. Then we have allow multi-threaded rendering. Always keep it on, because you will always get another 20 FPS, 20 to 30 FPS. It kind of varies. Having like multi-threaded, like if you guys have a good processor, the game would be able to optimally use like all the logical processors which is available to run the game. Then we have use GPU crash debugging. This is like only a graphic card thing. Like if your game crashes, it sends all these reports to the graphic cards team, which uses up your internet, so I wouldn't recommend turning this on, so always keep this off. Now we are going to move over to the next tab, which is going to be this setting tab right over here. First, language, doesn't matter much. Select your region that you guys play on. Make sure this one is on low ping. So talking about toggle sprint, make sure to turn this off because it sometimes gets confusing. Like once you press it and then you like double tap it and the player stops running. So always keep this off. Talking about sprint by default, make sure this is always on. If you guys are like, if you still have it off, like I would really recommend that you guys turn it on. Like if you're an old player and if you haven't played Fortnite in a while, keep this on. Then we have sprint cancels reloading. Make sure this is turned off because it will cause problems while reloading when you are on the sprint and you guys are walking, or if you guys are engaged in a fight or something. Always keep this off. Auto open doors, keep this on, guys. This is very important that you guys keep this on, because let's say like you're in a build fight, like you are having a momentum cranking 90s, you have to suddenly edit something and you have to go through. You don't have to stop to open the door. You guys can always keep this on so that the door gets open and you save up a lot in your time and get the high ground over your opponent. The next thing that I want to talk about is combat. Hold to swap pickup. So always make sure that this is off so that like you won't like just pick up random weapons just by like that. It is sometimes annoying but sometimes helpful. Let's say you're going down, you're dropping at one spot, there's someone who's contesting you, you need to get the weapon first. Well, at that position I would keep it on, but I would recommend turning this off. The next one is toggle targeting. Make sure this one is off so that you don't have to hold target when you guys are using the ADS in the game. Very useful. Make sure this option is turned off. The next setting that we're going to talk about is mark danger settings. Like this one is off. Then we have the mark danger settings while targeting, so that you guys can always mark where the enemy is, or if there is any danger, you guys can always ping in the game to let your duo mate or your squad mates know about the particular danger. Then we have auto pickup weapons. Make sure this is off. Some pros prefer it on, some pros prefer this option to stay off, because sometimes it gets annoying, but sometimes it helps you get the weapons first in a battle. Then we have auto sort consumables to the right. Yes, always keep this on so that like whatever consumables, either be shields or healings, it will be always sorted to the right, and you don't have to like take the painstaking process to put it all the way to the right every time you pick up some sort of healable item. So now we are moving into the building section. So make sure the reset building choice is always turned on. Like this is very important. If you guys don't have it on, you guys will have problems with consistency. If you guys are in a build fight, you guys will have problems. Turbo building, it's just a pretty basic thing. It should always be on. Then we have confirm edit on release. Now, I would recommend that you guys turn this on, but if you guys have doubled keybinds to edit, reset, and everything, scroll binds or whatever, well, then this is very important that you guys keep this off. But again, if you're a normal player, you guys should always keep this on to save up your time when you guys are editing through structures and everything. So yep, always keep this on. The other options doesn't really matter that much, and I would say like to keep the NVIDIA highlights turned off and the peripheral lighting to be turned off. These two options, make sure it's turned off, because I'm a content creator and I have to make videos. That is the reason these two options are on. If you scroll a little bit down, you guys will be seeing the option for replays. So record replays off. Make sure all these three options are turned off, because again, it's the same reason, because I'm a content creator. I have to always keep this on to make videos. So these three options should be turned off. Moving over to the next option, the HUD option. Now this is again basically like a user preference thing. Okay, HUD scale, if you guys want it to be like very small, just like the pro players that you guys see on Twitch, you guys can keep it that way. If you guys want it to bigger to see like when the circles are forming, where you need to go to the circle, well, you guys can always keep this on. Now this option, net debug stats, this is going to tell you how much your pings are, how much latency that you guys are getting in the game. So if you guys want, you guys can always turn this on. I would recommend to turn this option on so that you guys can always see what your latency is and if you're lagging in the game or not. The next option that we are going to talk about is the reticle ammo indicator. Now this is the option when you see next to your reticle, how much ammo do you guys have in your weapon. Almost all the Fortnite pros have kept it off, but there are loads of pro players out there that have still kept it on to see how much ammo they have during team fights, which kind of gets crucial at certain moments to know how much ammo you have in your weapon. Other than that, all these options are like, again, a preference. Moving over to the next thing that we're going to talk about is the sensitivity. I know, now this is something that we can talk about for hours and we can have a nice debate on this. So I would not go in depth when it comes down to the sensitivity, because again, it is a user preference thing. Some people play on the low sensitivity, then the X and Y axis are going to change. Targeting sensitivity is going to change. So again, this is going to vary depending from one person to other, because one person might find it comfortable to play on a slower sensitivity, but the other person might find comfortable to play in a higher sensitivity. So this is again up to you guys. Now talking about the controller options. Now this is very important, so make sure you guys are watching this whole thing. So the first thing that we have is sprint by default. Like, it is always enabled in our options, so we don't have to worry about the first one. Even if this is turned on, you guys will be auto running, because from the settings you guys have turned on the auto run. Then we have build immediately, builder pro, we don't use it, so always turn this on. Edit whole time. Now for this is very important. Like, you see the slider, just don't care, just slide it all the way to the left, because you don't want to wait to trade shots. You want to be a pro, slide it all the way to the left, don't worry about it. Then we have vibrations, turn it off, because it causes problems when you guys are in a very critical situation. Your gamepad like just vibrating on itself, like it just throws you off, so always keep it off to keep your focus in the game and not your gamepad vibrating. So keep this off. Now these options are up to you guys, and then we have the most important thing, which is the advanced warning. So just click on confirm. So click on use advanced options, so make sure this is turned on. The next setting would be to use the advanced options, and then always make sure it's turned on. Everything is always grayed out. Make sure you have your legacy turned on. Like, the best Fortnite controller player right now is using the legacy controls. I would recommend you guys to use the legacy controls. But again, there are a few Fortnite pro players who do a total of 220 damage like right in front of your face. So if you guys have your legacy turned on, that means you guys will be really good at long range and as well as close range fights. But if you guys have your linear on, there's a big debate between linear and legacy. So it is up to you guys again. Everything has its pros and cons, so it is up to you guys what you guys want to choose. You can choose linear, but I recommend using legacy because I see the best Fortnite controller players playing the legacy controls. The next thing that I want to talk about is aim assist. Make sure the aim assist is turned on, and then we have the edit mode aim assist. Make sure this is turned off. This is very, very important. Like it attracts your controller to aim towards the closest editing square in the building in edit mode, and that is something that you really don't want when you're in a really high intense build fight. So make sure this is turned off always. The next thing that I want to talk about for the controller options is to enable foot controller. This option right here, make sure this is turned off. Very, very important. Just turn it off. Next thing that we're going to talk about is the music settings, the audio settings. This is up to your choice. Music, sound effects, this is like definitely like something up to your choice. What do you guys have? Like what kind of headphones you guys have. You guys can put this sound quality on low or high. This is up to your choice. The second thing that I want to talk about is the 3D headphones. Now, if you guys have really high quality headphones, the headphones that you see like in music industry, well, if you guys have those type of headphones, make sure to turn the 3D headphones on. Well, if you guys don't, just like me, then just keep it off. Talking about the keyboard binding presets, like this is definitely like a new topic to talk about. So I'm not going to go in depth, but talking about the bindings, well, again, this is again a user's preference. But if you guys want to know what my binds are, I'm going to show it to you guys. Now, these binds are very different to the keyboard that I have. In the past, I've done like some crazy keyboard videos. So mine's are like a very different keyboard. Now the US standard one, because I use a very different keyboard. So the keys that I have over here is different than that of the keys that you guys see over here. So if you guys want to see my keybinds, well, you have it right in front of you guys. So you guys can definitely have a look. What do you guys think about it? You can always slow it down to go through like what my keybinds are. Let me know in the comment section, because these keybinds are not the same keybinds, like the same keys which are present on my keyboard. Sounds confusing, isn't it? The next option is a combat controls. Like just I have the best combat controls. Like this is like controller preset that I have right over here. If you guys are just starting out with Fortnite, you guys want to get better, and if you guys are still playing Fortnite, this is something that you guys should use. All right, what do you guys see on the screen? Use it. Like this is like super important. Okay, just make sure you just copy everything that you guys have, like super duper important. So these are the basic settings that you guys should have. So yeah, if my video was helpful to you guys, use the code Tamashabera in the Fortnite item shop. It is really appreciated, guys. Do use the code. We only have 3 supporters right now. Help us get to 10 supporters. It would definitely make my day, guys. It is always appreciated. Do subscribe to the channel, because we are only 1 subscriber away from hitting 350,000 subscribers. So help us get to that milestone. It is really appreciated. And definitely do drop a like. If you guys are running low on V-Bucks, well, then check out the first link in the description. And definitely visit Bear Gaming to find out all your favorite Fortnite creators at one spot. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Let us know what you guys think about the video. If you guys have any suggestions, let us know in the comment section down below, and we'll try to like put use of your suggestions in our next video. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I'm gonna see you guys on my next video, and peace out.